So, which are the reasons? And here I need to help the client to tell me the three main reasons. And the three main reasons are accident, health problem, or death. So, sometimes they might say, it may be an accident. And I say, yes, but you look very careful person. You know why I make this question and this note? Because if he say an accident and later on I will approach him to cover himself because of an accident, he might say, look, I don't want to do that thing right now because I'm a very careful person. I always take everything ahead to what I need to, and I have rules and regulations, and I'm very careful, and I drive careful, and I live very careful, so I don't want. So I challenge him and tell him, but you look. I don't say you are because I don't know. So I say, but you look like a very careful person. And I want to make him tell me that maybe I'm careful, but sometimes I will not. But even I'm always careful person, some other people are not. So I want my client to tell me this, not me. Because when he tells me such thing, he thinks, he remembers, and he feels. When I tell him, he might not remember, and he might not feel because he's thinking of something else. That's the difference. Second, what else? What else? What else is that it worries us, and sometimes we do cheers. Why we do cheers? Why we do cheers? And we always give, and we talk about to our health and to our health. Because we are worried about our health. So, but I always ask him and tell him, but you look healthy. I tell him, you look healthy. I don't say you are healthy. I tell him, you look healthy. And if something happens at the past or he's suffering, he might do this. And it is important for me because of the underwriting. But even he's healthy, he might say, yes, I'm healthy, but you never know what might happen to someone. Even I'm young and healthy. So he's the one that is doing the job for me. And then death. And he doesn't tell me what else and what else, and he doesn't say anything about death. Then I do this question. The last one. When do you plan to die, Mr. Client? When do you plan to die? You see, you laugh because I said plan. And all my clients and prospects, they laugh. They smile. They say, yes, you're right. We cannot plan our death. So it's death as well. And now he starts feeling and thinking very seriously. And if my client is not serious while I'm at the first meeting, it's a matter of level of communication, and I might quit. We need to talk with serious people. If people are not serious about things which they need to take care of, we don't have to deal with them. That's why we meet with 12 people per week. I didn't say I meet with 12 people because I do 12 policies. I said I try to meet with 12 people because I need to have 4 policies. So 8 out of 12, they don't buy, or they might buy at the future. Okay? Mr. Klein, you have told me that you plan to work for the next 20 years, and the reason is for having an income. Can you imagine yourself needing to work for more than these many years, these 20 years? Now I'm taking the opportunity to make him feel about pension. Do you think you will have enough money, enough income to live your life without working after the age of 65 or after these 20 years? Let her tell you his or her plan. And think about that and tell to your clients this. write it down. People do not plan to fail. People fail to plan. And this sometimes starts from us, from ourselves. So I always tell this to my clients. I might have, I might don't, and I tell them, sometimes it's not because we plan to fail, we just fail to plan. And part of my job is to see whether I can be useful for you and help you plan. And I make him feel relaxed. I might be useful, or whether I'm useful, and help you plan. And sometimes they tell me, look, I believe in God, and God will arrange everything for me, so I don't need pension, and I don't need life insurance, and I don't need protection. And I always smile and say, you believe in God? I believe too. Who do you think sent me here? God sent me here. Because this is the only way. You have been working for 20 years, during which you may save some money. Is this correct? You might save some money. Did I ask him to tell me how much money he saved? No. And they might say yes or no. If they say yes, I tell him, will you be happy? Will you be happy if you save the same amount of money over the next 20 years? So, he's been working the last 20 years. And I'm asking, will you be happy to save the same amount of money in the next 20 years? The answer is always no. Would you like to work after the age of 65 because you like to, or because you have to? Because for pleasure or because of need? Which company and how many companies they like to employ pensioners? Mr. Client, as things are today, can you save 10% of your total income? This is a very critical question. Can you save 10% of your total income? And they might say, 200 euros per month? Now I know everything. I know everything. I know how much he earns, and I know the percentages before, so I can make the calculations. I know everything. But they might say, no, I cannot. And then I say, 8%? And they say, no. And then I say, 5 to 6? And they tell me, 5 to 6? Yes. And then I say, and how much is the 10%? Because it's the easiest calculation. So when they tell me how much is the 10%, I know how much is 5 or 6. So I know everything. But sometimes they might tell me, even 5 or 6 I cannot. And then I tell them, and I ask them, and when was the last time you analyzed the way of spending your money? You know why? We have about 20 major expenses. Food, drink, clothing, schools, etc. 20, okay? Let's say 20. Usually, life insurance is at the bottom. It's 19, 20, or 21. So, whenever it happens, they call us and they say, I want to cancel my insurance, I cannot afford it.